Today, we're going to be learning about how to make a boombox. So you can see this cute little image on the right showing a boombox, and it's blasting out music, kind of like making big booms. And this is actually something that I had when I grew up. I got it for my birthday, and I loved my boombox. You could play cassette tapes as well as CDs on it. So a boombox is basically a portable music player. This is something that came before your phones could hold music and really before anything. So it started in the late 1970s and it went through the 1990s. Its name, boombox, came from its boxy shape and the loud bass boom sound. So the boombox typically has between one or two speakers. It's got a radio tuner, and it could have a cassette only or both with a CD player. They usually are about the size of a loaf of bread, but I have seen some that are as large as a suitcase. And the other reason they were so liked is that they were portable. You could literally bring your music with you as long as you had a place to plug it in. And it would just made it a party wherever you needed to go. So I wanted to play this for you to hear. So that's just hearing what the music would sound like as it would be playing on it. So once we're done, I want us to post a picture of it on Seesaw, and I'm going to show us exactly what we're going to do. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do to make our boombox is we need to have our large 12 by 18 paper that we have folded. And then we're going to draw. So for my friends that I have this sent home, I actually did this already for you, but you want to make sure that you are on the fold. And when you do so, what we're going to do is you can either trace, like a ruler where you place the ruler here and you trace it. But what we want to make is like the handle for our boombox. So we are going to cut out this particular shape. So I'm going to turn it towards me. As you can see, this is the fold, and it's open away from me. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out this part. Awesome. So now you'll see that this is still attached, right? And when you go to open this up, we have our giant boombox, which is pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is flip this over backwards. And the next thing I'm going to do is I want to make what you would push. You would push play, you would push rewind and skip and all those fun other things with buttons. So we're going to use these scraps to make the rectangular buttons. And you can use as many as you want. So I might put this back folded again. And I'm just going to cut out a few of these. You can even go through all of them if you want to. Totally up to you. So I have a bunch of these buttons. And then the next thing that we're going to do is I put our glue in here. We use glue sponges at school, but another way, instead of having a glue stick, if you have a glue stick at home, you could also use a glue stick. But I wanted to show you another really neat trick. So I usually can do this too, is I can just dip in a little bit of glue and I'm going to brush it on, so you don't need much. And then we're going to stick it right on the back here. So I'm going to just take a tiny bit, brush it on, stick this on here. So I want you to take the time now, put as many buttons as you would like. They kind of look like teeth, right? Going on the back of it. I recommend when you're done with this is, give it a little rinse like you would with a paintbrush, and put the lid back on your glue. You have tons to use. And then our scraps we can just get rid of, or you can use them for pieces on your project. So the next step is we're gonna flip this over, and you can see that I've got these really cool buttons up here. And the next thing that we're going to do is take out our oil pastels. So we're gonna use some shapes, and we're gonna make some really cool designs on our boombox. All right, so the first thing for our boombox is I'm gonna use a bright color like this, and underneath of it, I'm going to draw a straight line, just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 2 lines going down. So I'm gonna do one here and one here on this side, just like that. Great. So what we're trying to do is be symmetrical. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a giant circle. 1. These are going to be my speakers. And 2. Don't worry if they're not exactly symmetrical. So for the inside part, our decorating, I have sent home some really neat directions, or looking at what you're making. So how to design it, how to add some cool details, it's really up to you. And you can change it up the way you want to change it up, which is fun. Okay, so I might go with one that reminds me of mine, but you can always update it for what you want to do. And I recommend using lots and lots of colors. So think about if you want for your speakers, they're pretty much the same. You can change up your colors too. But for my speakers, I want my bass. I really want to see and hear it, right? Okay. And then I might add in some, I want to hear the sound, boom, boom. And my corners, kind of give it a little something. I really want it to stand out. Okay. So keep going, playing with what you want. I'm just going to add in my own details here. Once you get this all done, the next thing we're going to do is get ready to paint. All right, so now that I'm ready to paint, you want to have your brush and some water. And what I recommend when you're using your neon paints, whichever versions you have, the liquid or that's tempera, or the tempera cakes that are just dried out tempera, is you want to make sure that you are using enough water. So just water it down. If it seems like it's covering it too much, just add a little bit more water and it will show your oil pastel a lot better. So take your time, go through, add in those beautiful bright colors. that are my favorite. Turn on your black light, which you could have done in the beginning, or you can start now if you haven't done so. And just watch your awesome blue black light colors, the neon fluorescence, glow.